Hello, this is the Provoked Prawn, and this is a video to compare the SteelSeries Arctis Pro wireless with the equally awesome EPOS GSP 670. These are two premium wireless gaming headsets, both with very nice design features and a number of facets that make them interesting. I have unboxed both these headsets previously, and I recommend checking out those videos for a more in-depth overview of each, as well as samples of what the microphone quality is like, as I usually use the mics from the headsets when I'm doing unboxings and reviews. As you can see though, these headsets are quite different in their styling, but they're also quite similar in the features that they offer. They are, for example, both wireless in terms of connectivity, but also sport Bluetooth as well. The GSP 670 seen here comes with a tiny wireless dongle with a 10-meter range that allows you to connect and use low latency connection for up to 16 hours. It also has Bluetooth connectivity, which promises up to 20 hours of battery life, and it comes with a micro USB charging cable that you can use for 7 minutes quick charge to get up to 2 hours of gaming out of it. It has a 1.5 meter micro USB cable for charging purposes and an extension lead to allow you to plug in and extend the range of it. It also works with PlayStation 4 and PC using wireless and wired modes, and you can connect it to your phone and tablet using that Bluetooth connectivity as well, and obviously you can use Bluetooth on PC too. You have the option of doing that. It has a frequency response of between 10 and 23,000 Hertz and 112 decibel sound pressure level, and is a fantastic gaming headset that delivers a really good sound with 7.1 virtual surround sound or stereo sound. The SteelSeries Arctis Pro wireless, meanwhile, also has both Bluetooth and wireless connectivity, but it uses this little control box that you can see here. This box will work with PlayStation and PC, and also has a number of different connection options that include 3.5mm in and out, optical in and out, and micro USB that you can use it to connect to PC. It's worth noting that the 3.5mm connection can be used with something like a Go XLR or a preamp for an XLR microphone, which in my mind makes the SteelSeries Arctis Pro wireless slightly superior, but it really depends on your setup. The SteelSeries Arctis Pro wireless also allows for a multitude of controls from this control box, where you can plug in and press a button and go between a load of different options. You'll note in here, for example, there's a chat mix option which allows you to change between the balance of what you're hearing in terms of voices from your teammates and the game, so you can turn your friends down, for example. You also notice there's equalizer settings, and it has virtual surround sound as well that you can turn on and off. This control box is also very handy in a number of other ways. You can see you can turn side tone on and off in here too, and it allows for a pretty decent range, up to 40 foot 12 meters, so slightly longer 2.4 gigahertz wireless connectivity range on it, which means you can go a bit further. And I did note during my testing that the Arctis Pro wireless certainly allows for a lot more travel through the house, whereas the GSP 670 unfortunately cuts out and loses audio quite quickly. So on the face of it, there is a few more connection options for the Arctis Pro wireless. With the control box, you can plug more devices in. Both headsets though have that Bluetooth connectivity, which means you can have dual connectivity with your phone at the same time as your PC or other device. The other bonus of the Arctis Pro wireless is that it has this slot on the side of the control box that allows you to charge the batteries when not in use. Now, there are two batteries included, one in the headset and one in the control box. You can essentially charge one while the other one's being used, and then hot swap them and switch between them, and therefore literally never have to plug the headset in. Those batteries are also a place where you can get replacement batteries from SteelSeries, so you don't need to worry about that either. That's a nice bonus though, not having to plug the headset in, and a really convenient bit of charging capabilities. The only downside is when you do take the battery out, you do need to turn the headset back on, so you lose connectivity temporarily, but it means you never have to play wired. The EPOS 670 meanwhile wins because it is probably the better looking headset with a sturdier build quality. I feel like this one will last longer. It also has a closed back design to it with some nice padded ear cups and very nice design features that include, as you can see, a very soft touch satisfying volume wheel on the right hand ear cup. Alongside that is a smaller wheel that you can see above that, which allows you to dial in between chat and audio. It's the same way as the Arctis Pro wireless. As a chat dial basically allows you to turn your friends up and down. There's a button on the left hand side, which I also really like, that you can pull down, and that will let you know how much battery life there is and when you need to charge, which is another brilliant addition. That button on the right below the chat mix dial also allows you to switch between either EQ settings or turn surround sound on and off depending on what you do in the software. The Arctis Pro wireless perhaps wins in another way in that it's more customizable than the GSP 670, so you can buy, for example, additional headbands and external ear cups. These are seen as a booster pack, so there are a number of different colors that you can get. You can also get a D brand skin as well, which is pretty nice, so you can choose from a number of different styles that way. Here I was sent one from SteelSeries, which has some pretty vivid colors on it, but you can also get some other ones, and they're held on with magnets as well, so they're really easy to take off and replace, which basically means you can upgrade the look and feel of your headset even when it's become a bit more tatty and worn out over time. And I still have the Arctis Pro wireless even after all this time, because it's one of my favorite headsets. It isn't as comfortable though. As you can see, it has a bit of more of a sort of solid headband design to it, and then it has the ski goggle strap, which is essentially what sits on your head, whereas the GSP 670 has a lot more flexible headband with a lot more extending to it and a lot more twists and turns, and it has a bit more padding on it, which means it's a bit more comfortable. As you'll see, the Arctis Pro wireless also has a retractable microphone. I feel like the EPOS GSP 670 probably wins in terms of microphone quality, but it's nice to have that mic that you can sort of tuck away, and then you can use these headphones as just headphones out of the house. There's a mic mute button on the side, and you can obviously use the mic on both headsets to make calls, for example. The SteelSeries Arctis Pro wireless also allows you to swap out the ear cups. You can swap out and purchase from SteelSeries these affordable faux leather ear cups as an additional option over those standard fiber ones, which means you can block out a bit more external noise. However, the GSP 670 wins in terms of noise cancellation because it has a closed back design and a very tight fit, which means that it clamps onto your head and blocks out an insane amount of noise, meaning that you can't hear the world around you and you really get fully immersed in your games. And I think if you want something like that, then the GSP is a bit better. Not to say that the Arctis Pro wireless doesn't block out a fair amount of noise though. Both of them have a good passive noise cancellation level in terms of the audio that they deliver to you, and both are also very good in terms of positional audio. On paper, the SteelSeries wins with a better frequency response going up to 40,000 Hz, where the GSP 670 only goes up to 23,000 Hz, but in practice they both deliver a very rich sound. As I said, the 670 wins in my mind for build and design quality though. That extendable headband, as you can see, twists in scary ways and feels more solid in the hand with a thicker, more chunky design that includes a flip to mute microphone, which is also nice in terms of the external noise that cancels as well. So there's various different settings for mic quality and noise cancellation within the software. It also has that very nice padded headband, and it has a clever tensioning system on the headband too that allows you to adjust the pressure on your noggin. Those ear cups are slightly deeper and probably a bit bigger than the SteelSeries. Generally it feels like a better fit, a more comfortable fit, and certainly one with more pressure on your head. So perhaps if you don't like having a headset jammed on your head, you might not like the 670. However, if you like to block out all the external noise and concentrate on your game, then this headset is probably the one for you. Both headsets are fantastic in the way that they connect though. As I said, you have the option of wireless and Bluetooth on both headsets, which means that you can connect to multiple devices nice and easily and enjoy this similar amount of battery life as well, with the SteelSeries winning thanks to that hot swap capability, which means that you can keep going and going as long as you're switching between batteries, whereas the GSP obviously needs plugging in at some point. The 670 has these interesting ear cups design, which have this faux leather on the outside, then padded inside with a nice sort of fiber material that sits on the head, and then an internal bit. And the way those are designed means it blocks out a lot of external noise. The ear cups are also removable and replaceable. You can buy replacements directly from EPOS, although I will note they are quite fiddly to get off and to get back on again. SteelSeries is much more user friendly in the way the ear cups come off and go back on, but the ear cups from EPOS are probably a bit more superior in their design, comfort, and the amount of noise that they block out. They do, however, make your ears quite warm. I found over a short period of time that my ears were getting quite hot when wearing these ear cups. But it is nice not to have to hear the world around you when you're gaming, and it is very satisfying to wear. So far you'll be getting the impression that both these headsets are very similar in terms of the features and stand apart in a few different ways. As I said, the SteelSeries Arctis Pro wireless probably is a bit better in terms of the connectivity options, thanks to that control box. Means it can connect to more devices, especially if you want to plug in a 3.5mm device to your headset. You obviously can't do that with the GSP 670. There's no option for doing that. You can't connect to a preamp for a Go XLR or an XLR microphone. You cannot easily plug into other devices either, so there's no way to just connect this to a phone via a 3.5mm jack, which is a shame. And the SteelSeries wins in that department. However, if you're just using it to game on PC or on PlayStation and be able to listen to music, watch YouTube videos or whatever else on your phone, both headsets are excellent in that way. You also know on the SteelSeries Arctis Pro wireless there's a 3.5mm jack on the headset itself, as well as the micro USB connection too. You have the volume control wheel. You can also press in that volume control wheel to change settings, so you don't always need to use the control box. If it's out of reach, you can switch between settings on there. You'll also note there's a Bluetooth pairing button on the headset there and the power button. And it's worth noting that both headsets are pretty intelligent in terms of power use. So the volume wheel on the GSP 670, you roll that all the way back and then that turns it off, but it also automatically goes to sleep, so it doesn't waste power. Both of them are last in terms of battery life. As I said, you can get up to 20 hours out of each. The SteelSeries Arctis Pro wireless has 10 hours per battery, so obviously you have to change between those. GSP can manage 20 hours when on Bluetooth, and that's a lot of hours to be fair. It takes a long time before you're charging, which is certainly nice. You'll also see a nice bit of bend in both ear cups and the way they tilt and turn. As I said, the GSP sort of clamps to your head a bit more. The SteelSeries Arctis Pro has that retractable mic, which some have noted complaints about white noise being picked up. I haven't had that problem on PC, so if you want to ask, there you go, there's the answer. I haven't had that issue. I found it to be pretty good. It's not a bad microphone, and it tucks away nicely when you're not using it, whereas the GSP is kind of always there, it's a bit more chunky. However, you can see from certain things like the tensioning system and the way the ear cups connect to the headband, there's a lot more thought into the ergonomics and design of this headset and the sturdiness of it. That extendable headband, the tensioning system, the way it moves and twists. This headset, it will be a lot more comfortable for you, and it will also probably last a lot longer in terms of longevity and durability. They are, however, both great headsets, and I'd highly recommend either of them. Brilliant audio, great features, really rich in terms of connectivity options, with the SteelSeries winning in that department. The mic on the GSP is probably superior, but both of them are fantastic. Hope you found this video useful. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Be sure to check out the unboxing and review videos, as well as the other comparison videos I've done in the Versus playlist. Thanks for watching. This has been the Provoked Prawn. Thanks for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you found it useful, interesting or hilarious. Be sure to check out the description for all the information you might need. Watch these other videos as you might find them useful. Click that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. Check out my join options where you can get other video content and behind the scenes goodness, or just give me a follow on Twitch and see what happens when I'm streaming. Thanks for watching.